Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're reviewing an Audi SQ5. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Audi here in Salt Lake City, Utah for me some time with this SQ5. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions, just ask for Landon. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a turbocharged 3-liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 349 horsepower and then 369 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see the distinctive body lines there on either side, and then it's just kind of like flat in the center, obviously curves down a little bit. And then we have Audi's signature headlight design, which I've always been a huge fan of. It always looks crazy, especially with the daytime running lights that are integrated. And then you guys can see down both the sensors here, parking sensors, all of that. And then we have our SQ5 badge. And then notice we also have the Audi logo in the center. And putting it all together, obviously, it looks like a Q5, but a little bit more aggressive. Now around the side here, our steering wheel setup is 255, 45, 20 in the front and over on the rear. You can see here with the wheels, you got the silver on the top. Notice how it's blacked out in the center. And then of course we have our S logo there on the brake caliper. And then you'll notice that the fender flares are actually body painted. Same thing with the bodywork here at the bottom. Looks like that person's actually blacked out. Same thing here with the mirror caps. And then here is your full side view with the SQ5. And now taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function. We have the opening here for the hatch and the Audi logo there at the bottom as well, and then the S logo on the back. Now popping into the rear, you guys can see there's quite a bit of cargo space. That's one of the big benefits of the Q5 platform, is what we will call it. And then if we actually lift this tab up, you can see we got a little spare tire underneath as well. And I like this. I think that trim looks very nice. And then when you're all done, just press this button and that will lower the hatch right back down. Pretty cool looking taillight design. Then you guys can see the lower lights, parking sensors here at the bottom, and then look how aggressive those exhaust tips are. That is crazy. And putting it all together, let me know your thoughts on the looks here with the SQ5. Now taking a look at the door panel here in the rear, you guys can see the carbon fiber trim here. We also have a sunshade for the rear passengers, and then look at the padding and stitching down below. Taking a look at the seats, notice perforated all down the center, and then you've got the nice stitching there in the center as well. And then legroom here in the back is really good. We also have a little storage net. We've got some vents here in the rear. We've got our own climate zone, USBs, 12 volts, all of that. And then headroom back here, solid. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you can see soft touch here, and then look at the trim down below. And then you've got your padding and your stitching here. All of our window controls, we have our mirror adjustments as well. The mirrors do power fold in. We also have memory seats. And there's a quick look at the mirrors themselves. And then taking a look at the front seat, again, you've got really nice stitching all down the center with the perforations, power adjustments on the side, and then fancy looking pedals. Light controls right here, more carbon fiber trim, and then the steering wheel is power adjustable. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see perforated on either side, and then notice soft touch at the top and at the bottom, and then you got the S logo there at the bottom. Paddle shifters here on the back, and then notice we got stuff for like your heated steering wheel, your voice command controls for the center stack, and then your regular stocks here on the back for everything. Full digital gauge cluster here in the center, and of course we press that view button. It changes what the gauge cluster looks like. The fun one is the navigation screen. So yeah, always been a fan of Audi's virtual cockpit. I definitely think that it adds some flair to the car. Now this does come with a 360 camera system, so trajectory lines turn with the steering wheel. You got that bird's eye view as well, and then you can click this button. There you go. And this is where you can see the other camera viewpoints. So great camera system overall. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, you got a shortcut bar here, responds really well, easy to use overall, good response time. So yeah, good infotainment system. Soft touch trim here on the dash all over, Quattro there, and you can see more carbon fiber. And we have our dual zone climate control, so we've got heated and ventilated seats with this. Everything has a nice tactile feel to it, by the way, when you press the buttons. Then your drive mode select, and that'll actually pop up here. So a bunch of different drive modes for both on-road and off-road use, but mostly for on-road use. We also have hill descent control there as well, which is pretty cool. Stability control, a little bit more storage underneath, and there's more storage here in front of the shifter. Again, really nice leather trim on that. And then parking brake behind, you can see the volume control, and then carbon fiber all over. Some cup holders here, and then you got the center console there. Some stitching here on the top And then with the glove box, yeah, lined with felt, pretty big size overall. And then you guys can see the controls here for the panoramic sunroof. So here's our window sticker. We've got all the standard equipment and all of that fun stuff. And then we got the options on this particular one. And after all options, this one stickers for $67,880. Let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear, and, well, there we go. Let us set off in the SQ5. I'm pretty excited for this review because it's always fun to do reviews on the performance Audis. But anyways, first off, seat comfort's really good. So I think that's they've met a pretty good balance between comfort and, you know, sporty filthy seats where the bolsters, they hold you in place really well. So I think they've done a good job with that. I love the parking sensors always beep there. What is this Volkswagen doing? Oh, I guess they're dropping someone off. I'm like, why are you like halfway in the road, halfway not? But actually setting off, got some nice sounds out of the V6. It's got kind of like a rumbly tone to it. So I think that's pretty exciting. And it's smooth, this drives well. Again, this is a more performance-oriented SUV and smooth. Steering's very light. Something I kind of forgot with Audis. We're actually gonna take the detour. I was supposed to turn the other road, but I forgot. So I guess we're gonna go through this, whatever this is. But yeah, continuing along. I think that again, they struck a good balance between comfort and everything. But I guess the other thing I like is when you're not on the throttle, it's pretty quiet. So I think that's also a positive. Let's see how it does over the bumpy road. Yeah, really good with the suspension. I've driven quite a few Porsches down that road, and this actually shows me the difference between the Audi and the Porsche suspension. The Porsches are definitely firmer. This, it has more comfort to it, so I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so we've got the SQ5 in dynamic mode. A little bit more aggressive. Until the exhaust is a bit louder as well. So I think that's pretty cool. Even the dynamic mode, it's still comfortable, and the steering's still pretty light. I feel like that's an Audi thing, is having light steering. But we'll get on it here. Wow. Yeah, it's got some power. It has definitely got some power. It's impressive. So, capping things off with the... Okay, there we go. Wait. Ah! There we go. Now we're in auto. Anyways, I was pressing the wrong button. I feel like an idiot. I like this. I think it's a good balance between performance and comfort. And I think that's kind of what Audi does. So at least, again, in my experience with reviewing both brands, I think it's what Audi does so more so than Porsche. Porsche definitely has a more, like, just performance. Like, that's what they are, is their performance. Whereas Audi, it's like, hey, no, we've got some performance, but also we're going to make sure the car's comfortable and all that. So let me know you guys think about the SQ5. But yeah, I like how this drives. And if you're looking for, like, luxury performance, that's what this does.